To an outsider, it might seem simple. If an Amish woman feels unhappy, overworked, or restricted, why doesn't she just leave? But for most Amish women, walking away from the community is terrifying, a choice loaded with emotional, spiritual, and practical consequences. Their fear is not just about the unknown world beyond the farm. It's about losing everything they've ever known, from their family to their faith to their very identity. The first and most powerful reason is fear of shunning and social exile. In Amish culture, leaving the community often leads to Meidung, or shunning, a practice where family, friends, and neighbors are forbidden from close interaction with the person who leaves. A woman who decides to step away might lose contact with her parents, siblings, and even her children if they remain Amish. Family bonds, which are the core of Amish life, become severed overnight. For women raised in a world where community is everything, this is a loss that feels unbearable. Another reason is deep religious conditioning. Amish women grow up with the belief that leaving the community can endanger their soul. From a young age, they are taught that salvation is tied to obedience and humility within the church. To leave is not just breaking with family, it's risking eternal separation from God. Even those who question certain practices often feel a wave of guilt and fear at the thought of stepping outside the Ordnung, the strict set of rules that guides daily Amish life. Practical survival also plays a major role in their fear. Most Amish women have limited exposure to the outside world. Their education usually ends at 8th grade. They don't drive cars, use technology freely, or handle modern finances. Many have never held a job outside the home or farm. Leaving would mean entering a world they barely understand, where earning a living, finding shelter, and simply navigating society feels overwhelming. That fear of practical failure, of ending up lost, broke, or homeless, keeps many women in place, even if they quietly dream of freedom. Then there is the emotional weight of loyalty and love. Amish women are deeply bonded to their children, extended family, and neighbors. The idea of leaving means not just personal sacrifice, but abandoning everyone they've served and loved. Even in homes where they feel silenced or overworked, many women choose endurance over escape because love pulls harder than frustration. Beyond emotional and spiritual ties, economic dependence is one of the strongest chains keeping Amish women from leaving. In traditional Amish life, men are the providers, while women manage the home, children, and small domestic tasks like gardening, canning, and sewing. Very few Amish women handle money independently or have personal savings. Most large purchases, land ownership, and financial decisions are in the husband's name or controlled through family structures. This means that if an Amish woman leaves, she is often stepping into the modern world with no money, no credit history, and no property of her own. Even the skills she has, baking, sewing, gardening, while valuable, don't always translate into immediate survival in a society that runs on technology, transportation, and formal employment. She may be highly capable in an Amish homestead, but outside, she can feel like a beginner in every aspect of life. Then comes the fear of the outside world itself. Many Amish women grow up being told that life beyond their communities is dangerous, sinful, and cruel. Stories of crime, drugs, moral corruption, and spiritual emptiness circulate within the church as cautionary tales. Even if curiosity exists, fear of the English world, as they call it, is deeply internalized. They worry they won't know how to use technology, navigate cities, or protect themselves in a society they've been taught to distrust. There's also fear of failure and shame. If a woman were to leave and struggle, if she couldn't find work, was exploited, or became isolated, the story would travel back to the community, reinforcing the belief that leaving leads to ruin. This fear is powerful because reputation in Amish society is everything. A woman risks not only personal hardship, but also the confirmation of every warning she's ever heard about the dangers of disobedience. Even small practical barriers feel massive. She may not have a driver's license or know how to operate a car. She may never have opened a bank account or signed a lease. Many have never slept a single night alone outside of their family's or husband's home. To the modern world, these seem like small steps, but to an Amish woman, they are giant, intimidating leaps into the unknown. And yet, the heaviest fear is not material. It's the fear of complete aloneness. For a woman raised in a world where every day is shared with family, neighbors, and community, the idea of standing alone in a strange place with no familiar voices is terrifying. It's a kind of isolation that goes against everything Amish life teaches. While financial and practical barriers are significant, the psychological and emotional barriers are often even stronger. Amish women live in a world that teaches them, from the time they can walk, that belonging is life and leaving is death. Not necessarily physical death, but spiritual and emotional separation from everything that defines who they are. The first and most powerful emotional chain is guilt. Amish girls are raised to believe that obedience to parents, husbands, and the church is a direct act of obedience to God. To leave the community is often framed as turning your back on your faith. Even women who silently long for freedom carry a crushing fear that leaving will make them a sinner, an outcast in God's eyes. This inner conflict between personal desire and religious duty keeps many from ever taking the first step. Then there's the weight of lifelong loyalty. Amish families are not just nuclear units. They are interwoven networks of generations. A woman might live within walking distance of her parents, grandparents, siblings, and cousins. Every family gathering, every church meal, every barn raising reinforces a sense of we over me. Leaving doesn't just mean walking away from a husband or house. It means breaking the hearts of dozens of people she loves. This emotional cost is often unbearable. Fear of losing her children is another deep, silent barrier. In many conservative Amish communities, if a mother leaves while the father remains, the children stay with the father and the church. To leave may mean watching her children grow up in the community from afar, or worse, never seeing them again. This threat alone keeps many women in difficult or unfulfilling situations, sacrificing their own freedom for the bond with their children. There's also psychological conditioning about the outside world. From childhood, Amish women hear that the English world is filled with temptation, sin, and emptiness. They are told stories of people who left and ended up homeless, addicted, or spiritually lost. Even if these stories are rare or exaggerated, they create a mental wall that says, "If I leave, I will fail." Finally, fear of identity loss looms large. Amish life is more than a lifestyle, it's a complete identity. Clothing, language, work, faith, and social life are all unified in a single culture. Outside that culture, an Amish woman may feel invisible, unprepared, or like she doesn't belong anywhere. Many would rather endure a life of limitation than face a life of disconnection and uncertainty.